And you know what's honestly sad? Honestly, my man. So I don't. You've probably seen these. I've seen some videos on here of whitey people clapping and and talking about, oh, I want to do my white voice, clapping, and clapping about their celebrating their whiteness and stuff like that. And yes, it's so flagrantly white supremacist, but under it all, under that sort of like corny as fuck, like, and this flagrantly racist celebration of their whiteness, I detect a little bit of kind of desperation and a kind of it seems like they feel a little trapped, cornered, in a sense. A lot of these whitey people kind of know the truth that I was just alluding to in my video above that your comment is under. They know that the choices they make to deliberately harm people of color is going to and is presently harming them. Karma is coming back around. The genocide of the indigenous here, the enslavement of black people to prop up this kind of like prop up this first world status they have globally. As Mordo said in the Doctor Strange movie, Mordo, the black what's his name's character in Doctor Strange said, the bill comes due. The bill comes due. Whitey people are not a majority of people on this planet. They just are not. There are more black people, people that look like you and I, my brother, on this planet than there are whitey people. Period. And it's not even close. There are more African people with African features on this planet than there are whitey people. But white supremacists is fixated on holding back, destroying us, wherever we may be. When you talk about how they're trying to undermine the Pan-Africanist movement, the burgeoning Pan-Africanist movement, modern-day Pan-Africanist movement that's propping up in Africa, when they've constantly tried to undermine unity and coalescing of African Americans here, where they interfere in the affairs of black Caribbean peoples, where in the Caribbean, wherever they find themselves, the Grenada invasion, the interference in the Guyanese government in the 70s, resulting in assassinations. What they've done in Africa, what they've done, it all's come down to them trying to keep black people from coalescing. The banning of travel from all these, a bunch of African countries he just added to the travel ban to stop us from traveling to these African countries. It's funny. I think they somehow know the truth. Subconsciously, they know the truth. But because, as I've said in some of my videos, they've wholeheartedly accepted the socio-cultural construct of whiteness as being, who am I as a lighter-skinned human being? Us talking about this whiteness in this in this undeniably, factually backed up way as being actually a suicidally negative thing is panicking them because they don't know how else to be. That's why I'm saying there's this sort of desperation. I feel like this energy of being cornered is there when in these videos. I want to talk about my white voice. It seems nonsensical, but behind of it, I, I know better than to pity them. But there's an emotion that I'm feeling looking at this thing. It's pathetic and it's pitiful. And as I said, it's going to doom them. An essay that I have pinned at the top of my profile, a conclusion of, about whiteness. If they don't learn to redefine their whiteness as something different from what they've been exercising it as for centuries, that whiteness, as I've been saying, makes them make choices, makes them make this, what we say in the Caribbean, as bad-minded choices that is going to doom them. And it's going to doom them even more than it dooms us, because we have the epigenetic and learned way of surviving in spite of them. So when they do stuff and they think they're harming us, they're harming themselves more. I mean, as I said in my Father's Day message, what they're doing, what whitey people are doing globally, this kind of resurgence, this kind of backlash, it is not going to help them. And they're doing this, Brexit, all of this stuff, and the Tea Party from way back then, all of this stuff is to preserve the primacy of whiteness. But they don't realize to preserve the primacy of whiteness, they're actually harming themselves. They're ushering in their own extinction actually sooner than they think. And because of what they're doing, they're causing an equal and opposite reaction. They're causing black people like myself to coalesce. They're causing the African diaspora to turn to ourselves. And we start to realize we have a lot more power, we have a lot more resources at our disposal if we coalesce than whitey people have been letting us have, than whitey people have been making us feel that we have. Some of these African nations are offering us citizenship, particularly African Americans, and it's open to every person of African descent. Caribbean nations, as I said at my Father's Day mission, Caribbean nations are fostering a kind of free trade, free movement between peoples from Africa, people from the Caribbean. So they trade goods, technology, people, personnel, knowledge, back and forth. Free movement of peoples from Africa to the Caribbean and back. And they're offering the same thing to African Americans here. And if whitey people are going to continue with this, they're going to close themselves off and away from this future that black people definitely have. And extinguish themselves. And I said cynically, I think it's going to take them being depleted, them depleting themselves before they realize, before our natural Ubuntu takes over and overpowers their hapless, insistent, kind of reflexive modus operandi. And they see a bright future in spite of their shit. Unstoppable by their shit.